back to another episode of The Real podcast of Dallas. And we have today with us
Miss Cindy.
Miss Maria.
Oh, let's do it again, Miss Maria.
Miss Maria.
Go ahead.
Miss Maria.
There we go. And then we have a special
Williams.
guest. Let's do it again.
Mr. Williams here.
That's
Hey,
right.
William.
Hey, William. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
having
appreciate
me.
you.
Yeah. So
Will's cool.
yeah, we've had you before. We just caught your name.
Yeah, just in and out.
Yeah. So we'll have to find out who you are.
Oh, you will.
We know who you are.
Yeah,
The listeners
find
don't
out
know.
now.
Yeah, so this is another episode of The Real Podcast of Dallas, the little podcast that could, and it should. This is your first drug-free podcast, where drug-free is cool again. No additives, no preservatives, except for the spice that Cindy wants to add to it.
Diet Coke is okay.
So we are back at another episode. We've had the last episode that we had was outstanding. I mean, people were downloading that like crazy.
Yay.
So yeah, so thank you guys that listened to the podcast. And Chief, thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you, Chief.
Thank you,
Very
Chief.
nice to have you here. And to all the military personnel that are out there, thank you for your support. We met one, that from Hawaii. So
Yes,
we're
we
hoping to
did.
get him on the podcast soon. So we have how can they get a hold of us, Maria?
They can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Spotify as The Real. You can also find us on Spreaker as The Real also. And then if you go on Facebook, you do not need a Facebook account, but if you do a search for The Real Podcast of Dallas, and you will find us there too. All our podcasts are on there, so you'll have easy access to them. And then also you can find us on YouTube. And what's really cool, if you go into Google and you just Google search The Real Podcast of Dallas, you will be able to find us too, because we'll be the first ones to populate on there.
Yes, and Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Yeah, we're getting a lot of listeners on that, so that's exciting. I'm really excited about it. We get a lot of good feedback from the kids. So this is we're doing good. We're doing good, and we have a guest in the studio, because this is a studio.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
We forgot
My intro song.
Yeah. So write it down, and we'll talk, and then you gotta have it. And then we're gonna come out with your other song. What we think would
I gotta see if
we
I
would
know
hear.
this song.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Unless you watched Ali, the movie.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Oh, the one with
Will Smith.
Will
Yeah,
Smith.
Yeah.
I didn't see it,
Good movie.
but it has to be a good song if it was in the movie.
Yeah. But I'm not a big Will Smith fan.
No.
Not my favorite actor.
Me either.
Just be quiet, Leo.
I might
Quit
be
while
nice.
you're ahead.
This is a yeah.
Tell
Will Smith. Yeah.
he has an opinion. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you grow up watching all these comedians, Eddie Murphy, Martin, and then you see somebody that comes in and gets all of those personalities and then makes money off of them, but doesn't even try to change them. He becomes those characters. But people that don't know think it's brand new.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what bothered me about him. Sorry,
Yeah.
Will Smith,
Sorry.
if he's listening.
I loved Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
I did too.
See, he was younger. He would definitely, I think, was pretty great.
Yeah. And Carlton.
So, Cindy, can you, while I'm getting this set up, could you tell us a little bit about
Will?
Yeah.
Do you like Will or William?
I like both.
And what his role is?
William, I take more seriously. I kind of like straighten up when I hear.
You like
someone
William
say-
better? Okay.
I don't know. For this podcast, we can do William. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
William.
So William comes to us from another agency, another nonprofit, and he has a lot of experience working with youth because he's really cool. He's experienced things I've never done, like he taught school in New York. What part of New York?
The Bronx.
The Bronx. And he taught grades 9 and 11?
11 through 12. 9 and 11, yeah. And then 12th eventually.
Okay. And then he's also taught school here, locally in Texas.
Yes.
And so
Highland Park.
in Highland Park
Highland
as well.
Park.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
Because sometimes there's an invisible wall around there. Not everybody gets in there to teach, so that's really cool. And so he brings a lot of talents, a lot of charisma, a lot of personality, and he hadn't been with us long, but he's hitting it out of the park. We really like him.
Thank you.
Yes, he brings
Yes.
a really good vibe, a really good energy.
Good
Yes.
energy. Even when he just says, William.
William.
He says it, though, but it's good.
He's a nice dresser, too.
He
Yes.
is.
Oh, too bad they can't see that part.
Yeah. Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
So this would be your theme song.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, live and in person, for one time only. No, hopefully not. Hopefully you'll be here more.
Coming back.
Do you have your boxing gloves on?
We have the heavyweight or lightweight. What do you want to be? If I say heavyweight, don't
I like
get
to be the
offended.
heavyweight champion. I like
Heavyweight
everyone
champion.
What's flyweight?
Lightweight.
All right. So the
have
heavyweight
no idea.
champion, William.
I like it.
William.
Say hello.
Oh, hi. You're introducing me.
Yeah.
Hi.
So you would walk in, right? You'd walk.
I'm walking in all
music.
slow and
This is
macho.
William's first time. You're doing good. Take that cape off now.
Take the
And then
cape off now. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
all right, he killed it. Let's start over again.
I wasn't ready.
We're gonna do
Sorry.
it. Okay, so here it goes. All right.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
He walks in. He's walking down the hall.
Cheers.
He's working it up.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, live and in person on the Real Podcast of Dallas, we have William.
The champ is here.
Hello, guys. It's me, William. Thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited about this podcast and this topic.
I'm whistling because I'm excited, but you can't hear me. 'Cause I don't know how to whistle.
I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you.
I don't know how to whistle.
Now,
All right, well, okay.
I know my introduction.
Hey, well,
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's do this.
all right.
Let's
So
do this.
you want to hear what we would really hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did
Here
you
we
pick
go.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. So you walk in. You're walking down the hall, getting ready.
I knew exactly what it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the studios of the Real Podcast of Dallas, the one and only Williams.
Hi, guys. I'm glad to be on here today. My favorite song.
I think I like it better than my Bob Seger song.
You like this one better? So, Mr. Williams,
Yes, sir.
feel it. There we go.
That can be your warm up in front of the mirror every morning.
Oh, there we go. Me. All right. So, you've been initiated.
Yes, I'm excited. Now, easy sailing from here.
So, what made you work here at this wonderful nonprofit?
It is a wonderful nonprofit. I started volunteering at first. Well, actually, I wasn't volunteering. It just sounds good. I was getting paid.
Yeah.
I was working
Paid volunteer.
for the All Stars Project, which is another nonprofit here in Dallas. And we just work with kids, and we partner with Rainbow Days. And so I like those people. I want to do that. And COVID hit. Your boy was unemployed, so eventually I was able to get hired at Rainbow Days.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're
And I've
here.
been here for like 3 months now, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And now he's on a podcast.
And now I'm already on a podcast.
That's
Pretty amazing.
people hear it all over the
I'm
world.
trying to soar.
Yes, they listen to this podcast in India,
India.
Jaipur, India,
Jaipur, India.
Denmark. Yes.
awesome.
No.
Right. That's amazing.
So, yes.
Well, people in India, I love food there. It's amazing. Definitely tikka masala.
And he's available for shows.
I'm available for
He'll fly
booking.
coach.
I'm not fancy, trust me.
Yeah. All right. So this is the real podcast of Dallas, and we started a long time ago, but we're having fun with it. So how's everybody doing? How are you doing, Ms. Maria?
Doing good. Thank you for asking. It's spring break.
Oh, it's spring break. That's right.
It is spring break.
You know, when you're adults, you don't really have a spring break.
Right. What is spring break?
You kind of just...
It's just a break.
Right.
Yeah.
This is true.
A breath.
How are you, Miss Cindy?
I'm good because it's spring break, and so there's not a lot of people here, which is fine with me. You get
The
a lot
office
more
is
done.
empty.
Yeah, we just chill a little more,
Yeah, relaxing.
Definitely.
It is.
laugh a little more, chill a little more.
Yes, and podcast a little more.
And
Yeah.
podcast a little more. We have several.
Yes, this will
Scheduled
be our
this week.
20th podcast.
This is the
And
20th
you're on the
anniversary.
20th podcast.
Wow.
Yes, they said that it couldn't be done,
And now it's done and doing.
and it's
And doing.
going.
And continuing.
So, when you listened to the podcast, what did you think?
Well, I've only listened to 2, to be honest.
All right, you can leave now, sir.
But the 2 I did listen to, I thought was fantastic.
Okay, you can stay.
Okay, thank you. I knew that's what you wanted to hear, Leo.
Good.
So, what I really got the most out of it is it's relatable. I feel like every time I listen to the podcast with you guys, it's been something that I can relate to, whether I'm an adult or a teenager. So,
Good. Thank you, sir. Good
Thank
feedback.
you, guys.
We appreciate that. Yes, so you're here to promote.
I'm here to promote my album. Dropping. Next week. So what is the topic today, Leo?
Well, we were because we've been working with kids, and you were able to be on one of those Zooms, and you got to see the amount of kids and the energy that they have. Unfortunately, with the whole COVID, we're seeing a lot more kids who are depressed, self-harm. So we kind of wanted to address that a little bit on,
Mental health.
yeah, and how not to feel so alone, and then what to do when you feel alone. What can you do? So, I guess maybe talk about our experiences and have fun while we're doing it.
Because we all have a mental health, and we all need tune-ups and checkups to maintain our mental health.
Yeah, and we all have a breaking point.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we all have a point into where we just can't take it anymore, and it just depends on how we're going to express it, either through self-harm, by cutting, or by drugs. So it's gonna show up somehow, and it doesn't always show up as teens. Sometimes as adults. Sometimes it waits. So you're talking about an anxiety.
Yeah. Anxiety's huge.
Yeah, and so we're seeing that, and that's why we thought it'd be a good topic, especially going into spring break. But we don't want to get down too much because there's a bright side to everything, and that's why we did the podcast. It's for people who are home alone and feel alone. Something they can turn on. For the kids that we work with, it's people that you know. So hopefully that if you're listening, bring your brothers, bring your sisters, your family, and join us.
Gather around the computer.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
going to say gather around
Or
the
the phone.
television,
Or the phone.
the stereo.
Or the radio.
Those
Someone
are
has a radio.
obsolete. Yeah,
Yeah, the iPhone.
The iPhone. Yeah, gather around your iPhone,
Yeah.
kids.
we're going to tell a story.
Well, back in the day, it was different for us. When how did we deal with our mental